Alright. Back recording a video that I knew was gonna come eventually, but didn't know when I was gonna make it, and guess now's the time. That I'm finally announcing my retirement from Ranked for now. I'm not saying there's not gonna be a future of me in Ranked, because that would just not be fair. But of right now, there's a couple of factors going in. The main factor probably is the fun part of it was it being competitive and me knowing people, and now neither of those things are true for any queue I join. If I join a queue 600 plus, still to this day, there'll be like maybe one or two people I know in the queue, and then I'm just gonna be playing against them every time. It's becoming unfun with the less that I'm playing, the worse I'm getting at it, which when I play something as a competitive person, I hate losing. And it's also, I hate queues because I'm gonna be honest, I've always been like an above average person who has okay game sense. If that's what I had to rate myself for, and more of a team player who got put in a role to carry. And I was like an okay enough team player to the point where I carried my team enough so they played a little bit above average. It's just how I viewed myself. I don't view myself as good, outstanding overall. 1v1 player, bridge fighter, don't break beds much. I just do what I need to do in opportunities to give my team a chance to win, and I do it well, or I do it better than most people. So I was put in the situation of I'm not good enough to do that because I'm washed. I'm washed. I don't play. The game makes me sad inside. It demotivates me for life. The game frustrates me, basically. So when the game frustrates me, I'm not gonna sit waiting for a queue just for me to know how my game's gonna be before the game even starts, because I'm viewed as a good player who can't perform to that level because I don't play. People come in like my Twitch chat and stuff and be like, these new gens, blah 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 blah, like look at All Stars, look at like all this, and they don't realize there's no true way to show any skill for the way people want to show skill. There's so many people who I don't know if they're good or not, but they keep doing good in elo. And like, it's like, show something. There's also the fact of no one who is really good is playing anymore. That's why just getting elo or anything is just a walk in the park, and I don't know anyone. And it's also like when you're playing a queue and there's no one you know there. That's the honest. That's honest in the queue. There's no one you know. Look at like people. Everyone goes, this season's gonna be a bad All Stars. People don't realize that with everyone not playing the game anymore, the All Stars aren't gonna get better. No, it's not, unless something really changes. We're not gonna come back. I've had also people who aren't even known in the community, or like known as a premium player. I'm doing air quotation marks because I think that's so fucking stupid, the way that they treat people. But there's people other in the community who just say, I can't do with this game's frustrating and it's not fun, and it feels like I forced myself to play it. I want to upload stuff, so I was forcing myself to play it, trying to get a montage, and then I was queuing and queuing and queuing, and for me it's like I watch some of these montage and I'll be like, my whole like thing would be like, it's okay editing, they're good clips, but I don't know any of the people. For me, I was queuing and like only gonna get clips if it was like a flawless or like a good clip on someone that I actually knew. I queued over 20 games and got like 7 clips, and it was just the fact that the way I needed to play to win games didn't really give me clips, and the fact of no one in the queue was even worth clipping half the time. And then I took a break to get 600 plus, and I came back and I just realized I am one of those people who, like, if I don't play something, I get way worse at it. And I was just so bad to the point where that wasn't fun, and I wasn't getting clips because I wasn't playing well, and I can't continue to like play poor and stay in 600 plus, because again, part of me quitting is me not being as good. I'm willing to admit that. That's what you guys don't realize, is that I'm willing to admit the fact that I'm not as good as I am. I was. I'd still say I'm better than a lot of people, but there's so many people now who, when people say, like, try to shit talk me or something like that, I'm like, yeah, you're probably better now. Like, I can still have the game sense to go and play at a competitive level with some good players, but I don't have the game. Being known as a good player and having the pressure on my back to play well every game makes it just less fun for me, because I have to carry. It's like, that's the point. I have to carry to win game. And then I get annoyed with the community, with people's egos and shit like that. People don't understand what's going on in the community, which it's a shift. It's a shift that old players are going to lose interest in shit. It happens in every community. Old people in the community will lose interest in it. That's okay. But then when one person loses interest, it's gonna have a snowball effect of older people losing interest. That's why a lot of older gen people don't play as much. It's not really bad for a community. It's just bad for certain people in the community. The people who are newer to the community, who just play the game to play the game for elo and didn't really have, and all their friends weren't older in the community, they're gonna make friends with everyone newer in the community, and they're gonna be like, I like this community, or I have friends in this community. And it's just gonna, that's a constant influx of just with a growing community. Some older players might get bored and quit, leading to other people to stop playing because they're in the friends group, leading to it coming down to just you being left and you not knowing anyone and just not wanting to play or not being as good. Like for me, when I was in my prime, my friends group was like me, Sheep, like Bedpug, like those were the main three. It wasn't that big of a friends group, but it was big enough for like, it's not even like you could just see them and just like have competition with like elo and stuff with each other. It wasn't like we even queued with each other, played with each other. There was competition between each other. But then Bedpug, everything happened with cheating, or if he's not cheating, I don't really care. That's not the point here. And then there's Sheep, who just Sheep is always the one we made fun of because Sheep's a mute who only hid to break beds half the time, and that's what he got known for. But then he actually got better. But some people, you can't outlive your rep. Like some people get the rep as a bad player and they can't outlive it. Some people get the rep of being a good player and it just ruins the game for you sometimes. Like, again, it's one of those things like, yes, I do have an ego. I'm going to say that when some people get picked over me and shit like that, I get hurt by it. But what hurts my ego even more is not being able to perform to the level. Like, this guy's got picked over me? Like, no. But then when I get that way and I'm barely able to the level to perform better than that person, it's like it sets me back in the point where like I don't want to play this shit. It hurts me, it frustrates me. I'm not as good, and I also don't want to spend the time playing the game to get good at it again because that's gonna frustrate me even more. So it's just like with my Twitch and everything and like time and like me wanting to do YouTube, it's like I'm probably gonna still, again, this is what I'm gonna say, and I should have said this at the start. I'm for sure not leaving the community as a whole. I'm leaving queuing the game and playing the game. The community I'm gonna stay in, so I can still upload videos like this once in a while. So still, if you like this, still subscribe and still like support me because I'm still gonna be part of the community. I'm just not gonna be part of the game. Like I'll still, like, if I get the chance, stream things and stuff like that on my Twitch, and like I'm still gonna always talk about ranked bedwars and stuff like that because that's what I am. That's what I am at heart. I'm a competitive bedwars player, but I'm not going to be playing it as much. I might get back into it at some point, but it's just everything, like the way everyone plays frustrates me, and I just get frustrated with it. I'll be honest. I'm an older player who gets frustrated with some of the good newer players being better than me. Like I'm not willing to accept some of the change, and I'm also not really willing to accept the fact that I've gotten worse, or people have gotten better. Not really, I've gotten worse, but I've also gotten worse. So I'm not really willing to accept most of that when it was gonna happen with what I was doing. So I think that's just kind of like how I feel about this whole situation. I hope you guys can understand that, like, I love everyone in the community. Unless I have a problem with you, then I don't. And the people who are playing the game are not my problems with the community. So if you're watching this point, I need to know, people who play the game aren't the problems with the community. The problem with the community is the community as a whole, and just people are going to lose interest in shit. This is something that just is bound to happen, is my point. If shit like this is bound to happen. So if people are gonna be like upset with me saying you hate the like newer players and they ruin it for you, that's not really what it is. This would have if you look at the server as an overall thing, it might not have died by now, but the server would have died at some point compared to now, where you don't see the server dying anytime soon. It has such a big player base, where it's like part of the community might be like dying and like kind of like falling off, but they're still part of the community. Like they're not part of the player base, they're part of the community. The community is growing as a whole. So that's why I don't have any hate for any new players, just the ones who are annoying me. Again, if I don't have a problem with you, I don't have a problem with you. I don't care when you join a Discord server. It's not going to affect my views on you. So that's basically everything. I think this is the longest talking video I've had. But again, if you guys want me to go over more points, just in ranked bedwars, just anything, you guys can comment it below. If anyone says the owner situation, I really couldn't care less now that I've into it. It upset me at first, but I don't care. Yeah. I love you guys. This background gameplay, I don't even know what it's gonna be yet. I record this first. Probably just some like solo bedwars because I don't know what to do, but I love you guys. Subscribe, join my Discord, follow my Twitch. I love you. Mwah.